and we're here at Facebook Live, and we are on the road again. We are in our motorhome, and we have come up to Riley Creek, which is near Sandpoint, Idaho, and we are looking at the Pondere River, and it's very beautiful here. A lot cooler. We're going into fall, and that reminds me about what we're going to be talking about today, which is our fall projects, and I'm continuing knitting on with those. And so I'm very excited to share those with you and maybe a little bit about what I learned. So this last week, our giveaway was for Kenzie, and it's 2 skeins of this lovely haiku, and it is a blend of merino. It is 50% merino, 10% angora, 25% nylon, 10% alpaca, and 5% silk. So this is quite a lovely yarn, and so I will be announcing the winner of that prize in just a little bit. Now the prize for this week is a skein of the lovely baby grande alpaca, and we have that on special this week, and so I wanted to remind you of that. And it's 100% baby alpaca, and it's just lovely yarn. So the lucky winner will win a skein of this yarn. And all you need to do is you need to post comments in the comment section, and maybe tell us what you're working on, maybe where you're from, what you're enjoying in the fall knitting season, and maybe give me some ideas for things that I would love to knit too. So I love seeing your pictures that you post, so go ahead and post pictures if you're able to. That is great fun. So this lovely scarf that I'm wearing here is called the Ribs Column and Cowl by Vanessa Ewing, and it's a free pattern on Alpaca Direct. And this is a great project for beginning knitters, maybe a second project. And so I have done this with 2 different colorways of the Baby Grande Alpaca. And it's just a very simple ribbed cowl. And I just love this pattern. It helps our begin-to knitters learn to identify knit and purl stitches. And so it's just wonderful. So I would highly recommend for those begin-to knitters that are maybe looking for a second project to go ahead and start knitting in the round.
Can you walk back a little bit just so they can, so there's some light, because it's so dark underneath the thing. Yeah. Okay.
Jim said the light's a little poor, so he wanted me to step back so you can see. So this is a great cowl for beginners, begin-to knitters. So I really enjoyed that one. I don't know if the begin-to knitters will want to use 2 different colorways. I kind of probably like it better with 1 colorway, but I did have fun doing it, and it gives you an idea about what these 2 different colorways look like.
Sue says hello.
It's pretty cute. Good morning, Sue. It's nice to have all of you here.
And
I'm
Helen
very
says
excited
hi
to
too.
be here. Good
She's
morning,
watching.
Helen. Nice talking to all of you out there. Oh, also I wanted to mention today is 9/11, and that is anniversary of a very sad day for all of us, and I wanted to keep those people in our prayers who lost loved ones on that so awful day, and make sure that we appreciate our firefighters and police officers and the EMTs and all those people that work and protect us every single day. So we need to make sure and give all those guys a great big thank you, and then have those who lost loved ones on 9/11. Keep them in our prayers and continue to pray for them, because I'm sure this day is a very difficult day for them. So I wanted to remember and point that out. Also, we have a hurricane that's going to be hitting, and that hurricane is called Hurricane Florence, and it's in the Carolinas. And so all of you who are there getting ready, be safe, take care of yourself, and make sure you have plenty of supplies and get out of its path if you need to. There's no home that's worth saving if you have to sacrifice your life. So everyone be safe out there, and I hope that you are all well, and everything works out as far as that goes, that hurricane goes. So I wanted to look at another project that I worked on this week, and this was this lovely garter squish little mini scarf that I made, and it's from Stephen West. It's called the Garter Swish.
Keep going back a little bit.
It's a garter scarf. And what I did is I took this free leaf pattern that we talked about last week, and I just made them single-sided leaves instead of double-sided leaves. And I have just picked up a few purl stitches here and there, and kind of put those on there, and you can see from the other side of the work that it is not visible. So it's easy to put those on there, and these are just little leaves I randomly did, and I kind of used the basis for that other leaf pattern. Let me look over here, Jim. I want to tell them the name of that leaf pattern again. It was called, one second here, Just a Leaf by Henke. And all I did different than what she recommended that we do on her pattern is after you did the I-cord, you're supposed to pick up 3 stitches. And I chose not to pick up the 3 stitches because I wanted my leaf to be not double-sided but much flatter than the leaves that she did, which were lovely, but for this application I wanted my leaf rather flat. And then I went ahead and I would do increases maybe twice before I knitted straight for a few rounds, and then started my decreases on either side. And I tried to make them all different. So I did 2 sets of increases here, and on this one I did 3 sets of increases. You can see 3 sets of yarn overs. And on this one I did 2. And I tried not to make them the same so that they look a little different than each other. And that was great fun to put those on there. Also, to keep in mind just rules visually, color-wise. I'm not done putting mine on here, but I like to use odd numbers. So I would have 1 green, 3 red, or, you know, odd numbers of colorways. So maybe 5 blue, 3 green, 1 yellow, or something like that. And it visually looks good that way. So if you can keep those little tricks in mind. Here are some of the leaves I have yet to put onto my project. You can see on this mat here. These are leaves, and I just kind of pinned them out so you could see. And I left my cast on tail, or my cast on edge, and a long tail so that I can kind of sew it into the actual scarf that I'm doing. And so that works great. So that was a project I'm having fun doing this week. Okay, another project that we're working, that I thought, I grabbed this at the last minute, and it's made from Cascade Pure Alpaca. And this is called the Ladies Sampler Scarf, and it is actually the pattern's from Plymouth. And what I liked about this actual sampler scarf is for begin-to knitters who are learning to do different stitch patterns. It gives you all these little stitch patterns in little tiny increments, so you can learn and not have so much work to do to knit the actual product. So it's called a Stitch Sampler Scarf, and it's on Plymouth. And it is a paid-for pattern. But it's a wonderful learning pattern for those who are maybe wanting to go further on their knitting skills and have done a few projects already. This project is a good one.
Suzanne says it looks chilly here.
Yes, it is cold. It is. At nighttime it's getting down maybe into the 40s, you think, or colder than that. Yeah, so it's getting cool, but I love it because we have our alpaca socks from Alpaca Direct, and if you are cold and you can't get warm, I would recommend that you go there and buy yourself some socks. Also, there's going to be a huge shortage of alpaca. And we have already heard from the mill in Peru that there's going to be a big problem with that. So get your stocks early, because we're going to have a hard time keeping up with the demand this year due to that shortage. So, okay. So next project I'm going to be looking at, this one is called Sturgeon. And I don't know if you can see this. It's by Nora Gogan. And if you can see, this is what I'm making. And I'm making it with the lovely Sueno. And Sueno is one of our newer yarns. It's bamboo and silk blend. So I just started this yesterday, and I've gotten pretty far. I'm like on maybe row 30 or something. It has quite a few stitches on it. And here we are. I have it kind of blocked out. Sorry, Jim. I have this project that I'm working on, and it is a lace pattern, as you can see. I'm a little bit concerned about it, and let me tell you why I'm concerned about it. And it's because the edges are like the stockinette along in here. That's kind of a form of stockinette, and it really wants to roll. Let me show you what it looks like when it's not pinned down. Jim, can you show them this? So here it is right here, and I know on the actual pattern it tells you that don't worry about it, it'll block out. So if I run into a problem like this and I'm not sure if it's going to block out the way I want it to, meaning it still might roll a bit and I'm not too fond of that rolling look, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this section when I get home and put it on a larger mat and keep it. I've already transferred my stitches onto the 2 different sets of needles so I can spread it out so I can get the all the way flat. And then I'm going to go ahead and block it. I'm going to get that wet. I'm going to dip it in water, lay it out flat, pin it down, block it, and see what it does. If it rolls and I find that it's going to be a problem, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it out and I'm going to start over, and I'm going to do just a row or 2 of garter at the very beginning before I begin the pattern, so it lays out flatter. But I'll have to see how it does. Maybe it will block out, maybe it won't, but I'll let you know. I'm going to work on it this week, and then next week I'm going to show you these projects as I progress along further, and then we can talk about, you know, what I found and maybe what I did about it. So yeah, that'll be for next week. Also, this next week we are going to be talking about the Kitchener stitch. So we're going to be comparing samples side by side, and we're going to be talking about how to do Kitchener stitch in stockinette, how that's different than doing Kitchener stitch in garter, and then how to do Kitchener stitch in ribbing. So I'm going to be showing you samples of all those and maybe some easy ways for you to remember the differences in your technique in each one of those, so that you can successfully do it on your own with no help at all, because we will give you a little reference guide to follow so that you can quickly refer to that and be successful with doing Kitchener on your projects. So we'll be talking about that next week. Also, if you guys wanted to enter to win this week for the Baby Alpaca Grande hand-dyed yarn, this is the prize for this week. You go ahead and post comments in the comment section. Let us know what you're working on. Let us know, you know, whatever you want to tell us about or whatever you want to share. The more you want to share, the more we learn from you. We love learning from you. So go ahead and share with us and let us know what you're working on. It's always lovely when you post comments out there. And this is the prize for this week. And I wanted to go ahead and announce our winner for Kenzie. Is 2 skeins of this lovely yarn. It's one of my favorite colorways, and that'll be a great project for someone out there who is the winner. And I'm looking for the sheet. I have to be very careful about my sheets today because it's windy and the sheets can go flying, so we don't want to do that. And Helen Wolf is the winner of this wonderful Kenzie. Helen Wolf, congratulations. You need to contact us and give us your shipping address, and we will go ahead and get this out to you. And the way that you do that is you go to alpacadirect.com, customer service, and then give us your shipping address, and we will get that out in the mail to you. So congratulations, and I hope you enjoy making something beautiful out of that. This next week, I am going to be showing you, I haven't started yet, I have gathered all these bits of Kabasi Plus, and they're sitting here waiting for me, and this is what the Kabasi Plus looks like when it is in the skein. It's from Haiku, by Haiku, which is Gazelle, and this is a cotton silk blend yarn that is machine washable, and it is wonderful. And I'm going to be making a scarecrow out of it, so I am going to not be using a pattern. I'm just kind of using an idea from what I found on Ravelry, and let me show you just a couple of pictures of ideas that I saw that I really liked, and then I'm just going to begin knitting, and I will show you a couple of the ideas I like. This was one that I found by Debbie Birkin Designs, and what it is it's a tea cozy, but I like the little buttons and I like the little square patches that were sewn on in a floppy little hat. I just thought it was cute, so I'm going to use that as a little bit of a base for the project I'm going to be working on. And this was another one that I found on Ravelry, and I thought that one was cute as well. So you'll have to wait until next week to see what I come up with. So this week I'm actually going to be continuing on with the projects that I'm doing, and I'll be showing you how far I progressed along. with my projects for this next Facebook Live, as well as talking about the Kitchener stitch. I'm trying to think of anything I might have missed, and I think we're pretty good. I think I pretty much talked about everything. Also, make sure to keep all of those victims from 9/11 in your prayers, and if you can just pray for our firefighters and let everyone out there know that we appreciate them, all the hard work they do in keeping us safe. And I am so blessed that we live in the country that we do. And also to keep the hurricane people who are in the path of the hurricane that's coming in your prayers as well. So you take care. You all have a great week. And next week we will be talking about the Kitchener stitch. So you take care. Talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.